Okay, for this video, what I want to do is show you how to come up with the linear regression equation and correlation coefficient using the TI-Nspire graphing calculator. So with this, what we have is the data set that we are going to use is we're going to let X be the monthly sales in thousands of dollars, and we're going to let Y be the cost of online ads, also in thousands of dollars. So what we are going to do is we're going to open up a spreadsheet in our TI-Nspire and create a column that represents our sales and create our column that represents our ads. So let me grab my calculator. And I'm just going to start on a new document. If you want to start with something else, you could, but I'm going to start with a new document. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a lists and spreadsheet screen. So basically what this does is like an Excel document. You do have to label your headings up here so that you know what it is. So this one, I'm going to let this be our sales. So I'm just going to type in sales. And for this one, I'm going to let that be our ads. So I'm just going to type in ads. And remember that this was in thousands of dollars. And then all I have to do is enter my data. So if you need to pause the video at this point, I have it written down on paper, but if you need to pause the video, go back to this screen so you can pause it here, enter this into the column that we just entered as sales and enter this into ads. And then whenever you're done, you can join me again or you can try to follow along. Okay, so I would type in the 368. And all of the values for X, okay, and then after I get to the end of that one, I would go to the next column, and I'm going to go back up to the top. I do want to make sure that they correspond with each other. So the 368 went with the 1.7, the 345 went with 1.3, whoops, I messed up, 1.3, 2.6, 4.3, 1.3, 2.2, and 1.3. So after you've entered your data into your spreadsheet and you've checked it to make sure that everything matches up, because you do want to make sure that everything is accurate or else you will get the wrong equation and you will get the answer wrong. So what we're going to do is I'm going to hit the control button and the letter I. What that does is it inserts a new screen. So I'm going to do Control and I, and for this one I want to choose option 5. So you can either use your arrow to go up or you can hit the number 5, Add Data and Statistics. And what happens here is it gives you a screen, and you can click down here and you can click over here to add your variable. So remember that we said that we were going to let X be sales and we're going to let Y be ads. Okay, if you wanted to, you could switch it around and say that this is ads and that's sales, and it switches it around just with the touch of a button. But because I had set it up that my X was sales and my Y was ads, it automatically just adjusts the screen and puts a label, everything nicely. So if you have to put it on paper, this one's really nice. Okay, what we are going to do now is we want to come up with the line of best fit. And so to do that, I would do menu and I want to analyze this graph. So I'm going to choose option 4 and then I'm going to choose option 6, regression. And it asks me for a lot of different things. I want to show the linear. Since I'm doing this for the algebra purpose, I would choose option 1. If I were doing it for a statistics purpose, I would choose option 2, because typically a plus bx is what is used in algebra class. So I'm going to choose option 1. And notice right here, I'm just going to grab this, and it actually gives you the equation of the line. It does not give you the correlation coefficient on this screen. So if you need to find R, you would have to go to another screen, but I'm going to go ahead and go write this down and say that my equation is Y equals 0.0055x. I just rounded to 4 decimal places, minus 0.6188. So like I said, if all you were looking for was the line of best fit, that's all you would have to do. If it asks you to find R, what we have to do to find R is we're going to Control I, and I'm just going to open up a calculator screen. Okay, and so this is just my regular calculator, and so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to menu, and I'm going to go to statistics, and I'm going to go to stat calculation. So that was menu, option 6, statistics, option 1, stat calculations, and I'm going to do option 3, the linear regression, mx plus b. And my X list, we would just go through. You can either click on it over here and say that I want my X list to be sales and my Y list to be ads, and then I would just click OK. And so my R right here is the 0.9715. So on the very bottom, it gives me my R. R squared is 0.94939, which, remember, this is your variance. It basically tells you how much of your variability is described by this, which this is a very high number, so that would be good. R is always a value between -1 and +1. If R is positive, that means the slope is positive. If R is negative, that means the slope is negative. So those always coincide with each other. The closer R is to 1 or -1, the more linear your data is. The closer R is to 0, then the less linear it's going to be. That means that there's very little correlation if it's close to 0. So my R again was 0.9715. So just to recap what we did, remember that we started with a statistics or a spreadsheet screen, entered our data, and then we opened up a data and statistics screen so that we could see what it looks like, and you just click. And so the nice thing about this is if I switch this around, it would automatically recalculate the new equation for me. So that's really nice. I can go back to sales. So if you realized, oops, this one is supposed to be my X, this one's supposed to be my Y, it's just a touch of a button. As always, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. If there are additional topics you need me to cover, please let me know that as well.